So when I first met Gerrard, we had two of us. So my colleague Melissa Donaldson, who owns the SwimMastery swim studio here in Brisbane with her husband Jeff, we were both in the pool with him, and we were on either side of him, and we were both acting as like buffers. Because he literally could not swim in a straight line, and I don't think he would mind me saying this, and this was, I don't know, 7-8 weeks ago, and we couldn't leave him in the pool on his own because his body was so disconnected that he simply wasn't swimming in a straight line. And like, if you put that into the channel's 21 miles long, and it's some of the most treacherous water in the world at times. And imagine that knocking you about when you've already got a body that's not connected. It's just going to take you all over the shop. And now, as you've just witnessed this morning, you know, I can get out the pool and leave Gerrard to swim in there on his own because his body's connected, he's straight, he's streamlined, he's going in one direction. So that it's been a phenomenal change in the 8 weeks since he first started. So I think with regards to the channel, I think his swim's just going to be a lot shorter than what it was going to be 8 to 9 weeks ago. You will have seen it happen a little bit today already. So as we work on the technique, and as we work on the movement patterns, I talk a lot in analogies. So I get him to put his body into a certain position, and then I get him to send it somewhere. And we saw this morning when we were doing some of that practice that when he wasn't sending it somewhere, he was swimming at a much higher tempo because he was traveling less far for every stroke he was taking. So then I got him to stand up because he was going back in the current, and I was saying, okay, so now you can do that cue. And at that time he was focusing on his catch. I said, it's great to focus on your catch, but make sure that you are using the catch as an anchor to send the rest of your body past it towards Cap Gris, we say, because that's where he wants to go. And instantly when he swam again, he was traveling closer to the current, his tempo slowed down, so therefore he was swimming further for each stroke than what he was before. So it's the more efficient you become, the further you'll travel for each stroke to a point, and there is a magic number. We're not aiming for zero, we're aiming for efficiency. So there's a couple of other things that come into that equation, but that's the start of it. The best outcome is that in every moment that we get to spend time in water, that we are focusing on improving the technique, because the better the technique is, the better he can tap into it when he's out in the middle of the channel, probably without a doubt tired, probably in pain because it hurts, it's difficult, it's not easy, and we want to build those new neurological pathways to such a degree that out there in the middle of the channel that he can tap into these crazy analogies that we are working on at the moment, so he can make it easier. So for him, it's more about training his brain, training his neurological pathways, putting the movement patterns into his body rather than training. So any of my clients that I work with, I try and take the word training out of the equation, and I get him to just go to the pool and practice. And the more he can practice these movement patterns, the better it is going to be for the channel. So that's what it looks like, and we're going to do more in the pool. We have weekly lessons, we do more in the pool, give him more analogies, build up the rest of the stroke. We're not quite all the way through yet, so there's a little way to go.